All right, so Maddie, tell us a little bit about you, what you're doing in content creation or just in your life, and any big projects or things you have coming up. All that good jazz.
I'm doing nothing because of COVID. Everything's closed, so haven't done anything with that. I haven't streamed in 2 months, but I'm gonna stream tomorrow for the first time in a hot minute to do my first ever Minecraft thing.
Nice.
Competition. Yeah.
Competition.
It's like a competition. You're in
Okay.
groups for it. It's off-brand MCC.
Okay.
Fun.
Walmart brand, great value. Okay.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Minecraft. It is a game that I feel like a lot of you guys are associated with. Feel free to disassociate yourself as much as you want from that during our game. I know
We've been trying. We've been
to.
trying, Commander.
All
Have
right.
we added Minecraft stuff in?
What'd you say?
I did. Or someone said Minecraft stuff in the game?
Oh, no.
I mean, I added it in. Okay.
No.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I can make it work though.
Okay.
If we want to add some Minecraft stuff to the campaign, if you guys really want that, we could just turn it into a Minecraft campaign. Does that sound fun to everybody?
Escape it. Can't escape it.
No.
You guys are the Ender Dragon. All right, anyway. Thank you so much, Maddie. So happy to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being here. Shark, you're up next.
Sorry, a car just drove by really fast.
You're good.
Hello, my name's Shark. I used to be on Twitch for a bit, and then I realized I don't know if I like doing this. So right now I'm currently working with other people and writing and directing short films and ads for like some of my friends' brands and stuff. So I've just been working on that and seeing where I want to go creatively and kind of like stepping away from like the Minecraft like vibe. I don't know. It was cool. But like I don't know. I'm gonna
Sure.
do other stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to be working and directing and acting and stuff like that. So
That's fucking awesome.
thinking-
I'm very proud of you for doing what you think is best for your mental health and for the things that you love doing. That's brave to step away from something and start something new. It's always brave to start something new. And so proud of you for pursuing that passion. And thank you for being a part of this show. And I'm really excited to have you. And I'm excited to see what you do with the acting portion of this, because I know you were excited for that. All right.
thank you.
Of course. Angelic, you're up next.
Hi. I don't know. I stream, and that's about it. That's literally my whole entire life. I just stream. I do a lot of creative things on my stream, very unique ideas. I would say that's what separates me from a lot of other streamers. Very interactive with my community. Like I just love everyone a lot because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So yeah, that's about it. Just streaming.
Perfect. Hey, that's more than enough. You do a great job with it. I know every time I tune into your stream, you're one of the most welcoming streamers. You always say hello to me. You always say hello to everybody in the chat. Literally, you start off your stream by saying hello to literally every person that said a message in your chat. So you are a very welcoming streamer, someone that's very fun to watch, and just very, very excited to have you on the show and be a part of it. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Awesome. Nina, welcome. Hi.
Hello. My name is Nina Ninskavins. I'm a variety streamer. I've been having existential crisis every day. Like we all are, we all don't know what we're doing with life, so I can't wait to venture into this reality we're making to escape the reality I'm facing in real life.
Hell yeah.
That was so smooth.
That is one of the best
But-
parts of D&D. You get to forget about your shitty real life.
Honestly, yeah, that's about it. Same with Angelic. I have nothing going on with my life. I'm about to finish my first year of degree,
Nice.
and that's about it. Yeah.
Exciting. That's awesome. Well, thank you for being here. And, now you've got something going in your life. You've got a wonderful D&D campaign that's really just going to help you in life and really prepare you to just be a bad person. All
Can't
right.
wait to be a villain, man.
Exactly. This is the villain arc for everybody. All right. Let's do it. Last but certainly not least, Amity Avon. Hello.
Hello. I'm Amity. I'm a scary bitch on Twitch. I play scary games. And that's really it. I watch scary videos. That's literally it. I'm going back to school on Monday, and I'm nervous.
Oh my god.
I changed my degree from nursing to marketing.
Let's
Damn.
fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess that's really it too. I'm excited to be mean to people on Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, yes. Okay, I love that. I love that. And congratulations for going back to school. Again, just like I said, with Shark, it's always hard to switch things up and change things. So proud of
Yeah.
you for following what you're interested in, and you know, even if this isn't what it ends up being in the end, it's still very strong of you to make that decision to try that. So,
Oh
proud of
yeah.
you.
Thank you.
And thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here. All
Of
right, everybody.
course.
So I'm
I'm
Commander.
excited.
If you don't know me, I'm Commander. I run Dungeons and Dragons shows here on Twitch. I run a Tuesday night show that's cyberpunk, futuristic theme, based on the show Samurai Jack. If you've ever seen that show, so that's my Tuesday night show. Wednesday nights, I play a Greek mythology campaign. I run a Greek mythology-based campaign called Blood of the Immortals, and that is about a group of demigods who are being hunted by a person who literally calls himself a god killer. So that's fun. And then this is my now third campaign that I am running. This is Elegant Evil, which is a D&D centric, a D&D villain centric campaign. The first one that I've ever run, and one that I'm really excited to try out. So just so you guys know, this campaign will be from the point of view of the bad guys. So a lot of the fights that you see happening, it's going to be kind of flip-flopped, where good guys are going to be coming after them, and hopefully, if things play out correctly, we can see some really interesting interactions and see a new perspective to the game. And this is the first officially branded Worlds Beyond D&D campaign as well. I am starting a whole multiverse of games that are somewhat interconnected piece by piece. This is the first officially branded Worlds Beyond game, so the effects of this campaign will affect other pieces of my other campaigns. So what you guys do here will change the outcome of some of the other campaigns, and especially campaigns in the future. So it should be pretty fucking awesome. And just so you guys know, my Wednesday campaign and my Tuesday campaign are also Worlds Beyond official D&D campaigns, which means they are connected. They're just alternate universes. Think of it like a comic book. They're not connected to each other like physically. They're not on the same physical realm, but they are all connected by like a multiverse. It's, you know, alternate dimensions, that kind of thing. So you may not, you know, the effects of this particular campaign may not directly affect those campaigns, but there is a connection that brings you all together, whether it's an overarching being that's kind of pulling all the strings, or maybe a portal that kind of shows you different things that are going on in different multiverses. Think of it like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you know? It's kind of like that. So it should be pretty exciting, and I'm really excited to really get it underway. This summer is going to be full of content for me, so I'm super pumped. Last thing I want to mention before I go into how the game's going to be played today is I want to mention that I have a show in the works as well. And this is my first one-on-one Dungeons & Dragons show. It will be premiering here during Pride Month, and near the end of it, it has a transgender lead named Wembo. She's fucking awesome, and it is going to be a detective serial killer murder mystery story. So she will be the detective trying to uncover a series of murders, and it should be pretty incredible. And her character is also trans, so there will be a lot of really awesome topics discussed during the game. There's some really awesome roleplay that's going to happen. It's partly scripted, partly improv, mostly improv, but it is going to be really awesome. So please make sure you guys check that out and give that a signal boost when I release the trailer here pretty soon in the next week or so, because it's going to mean a lot to me, and specifically to her, as she is a huge advocate for the transgender community and doesn't see a lot of representation in the Just Chatting community and around here. So she really wants to help signal boost that and make an awesome dramatic story that is fun for people to watch. So it's going to be in the same vein as like Hannibal or those kind of TV shows about serial killers, so it should be pretty fun. And that's all my shilling for the day. That will not be the same every week. This is just the first week, and don't worry, guys. You don't have to worry about it being too shilly. That said, !Discord in the chat. If you'd like to join the community Discord, you can do a watch party in there. If you guys are in the chat and want to do a watch party, just make sure that you are over the age of 18. If you're going to join the chat, if you're going to join the voice chat, I want to make sure that you are not in danger. If you're a minor, select the correct roles when you join the Discord, all that good shit. Please also, if you join the Discord, check out the other channels. There's places to put fan art and all kinds of good stuff. They're going to describe their characters in a little bit, and that will be a good chance for you if you're an artist or somebody who even likes making, simple pieces. We all love seeing fan art. It really just gives us all a serotonin dump in our brains of happiness. So if you have any art skills you want to share with us, or even if you're shit at art, we love it. So yeah, feel free to throw that out. Other than that, that's the community Discord, !Discord. Other than that, let me think, is that the last thing? I think that's it. Anybody have anything else they want to mention before we move on to the game? All good?
All good.
All right. Perfect. Malice, you are an artist. Malice entered our art competition, by the way. Malice in the chat drew some amazing stick figures, got last place in the art contest. Incredibly impressive to get last place. I mean, it was really hard to get last place in that competition, but Malice secured it. So proud of you, Malice. Thank you for being here. All right, so let's go over what is going on exactly here, says Oil in the chat. So Oil and everyone else in the chat, let's describe what's going to happen today. So this is episode 0 of Elegant Evil. And this is, as I've said before, a villain-centric campaign. Now, all of my players, I want you all to think for a moment of the questions that you answered the either last week or the week before. You may have done them even before that week. But think of the answers to your questions. Think of the people that you're connected to, that your character is connected to. Think of where your character comes from. And I want you to imagine the quest hook here that I'm going to describe to you. So everyone go ahead and close your eyes and begin to imagine you as your character. Esme, Amity's character, you may be, floating. Everyone imagine you're kind of in a black void. We're going to kind of do this cinematically. So you are standing in a black void. You look down and you see yourself in your clothes that you've thought of for your character. The hands of your character are the skin color that you've chosen and the consistency that you've chosen. You're wearing gloves or you're not. You're wearing boots or you're wearing a dress. However you're imagining your character. And out of this black void, you see a creepy, kind of squishy looking eyeball fade into view. It has no eyelids. It just is staring at you, and it kind of makes like a noise as it's looking around in this black void. Nothing else is around you. Nobody else is around you. But you hear a voice as this giant, singular, squishy eyeball is looking at you. You hear this voice in the back of your mind. Hello. It's finally time. You look like you could use some help. You look angry. You look, well, frankly, pissed off. And if you're looking for some help, I might be able to provide that for you. I have a mission for you, if you will. And I can see that you're not doing anything. So why don't you come and meet me? The very southern edge of the continent.
on a tall mountain peak. You'll notice you're getting close when all of the vegetation dies. And it's nothing but desert wastes. At the top of this mountain, you'll find a mansion, a large building, somewhat dilapidated, but don't judge me. I'm an old woman. It's hard for me to take care of it. I want you to meet me there. When you wake up from this dream, you'll know which way to go. Trust me. There will be others when you arrive. But I can promise you one thing. Whatever it is that you most desire is waiting here for you. I'll be seeing you soon.
And the eyeball suddenly fades out of existence with a squish. And the black void around you fades to wherever you wake up. You may be in a tavern. You may be out in the woods with your wolf family. You may be chilling at a park, on a park bench, just out wherever you feel like you would have rested. You may be with your mercenary guild. You may be with somebody. You may be with a one-night stand that you just slept with. Who knows? Wherever you decide you'd like to wake up, that is where everyone, go ahead and open your eyes. That's where you wake up. Okay? And what's going to happen here is you are now given the hook to the quest. You're given a purpose, something that you should go do. And all of your characters are motivated to go do that thing for whatever reason, whatever your biggest desire is. You may be skeptical, and it's okay to be skeptical because it was kind of creepy, and the creature that was talking to you was kind of cryptic. So it's okay to stay skeptical. It's okay to not really trust what's going on, but still be inquisitive. But either way, you are going to go to this place to start the quest. Now, as you wake up, your characters, looking around at their environment, I want you to think just for a moment where your character would be. You're all on the same continent, so you don't have to worry about having to like travel overseas or anything like that. You're all on the same continent. I don't have a map for the continent for you because it's not important. The quest is going to be maintained to kind of small area, so I'm not going to make a whole big map for it. This campaign's kept to a pretty short, small area. But with that said, think of where your character would be, whether, like I said, on a park bench out somewhere, or out in the woods, or with a one-night stand, or whatever. And as you wake up, it's quiet. Even if you're in like a kind of loud place, if you imagine that you wake up in kind of a loud place, like maybe you wake up at a tavern or like at a club, maybe you passed out at a club and you're waking up. But either way, you wake up and it's quiet. Nobody's around. Including if you had a one-night stand, they're gone. You're not sure where they went, but they're not around. The bed is empty next to you or wherever you were at. There's no creatures around. It's dead silent. And as you look around, you feel this kind of twinge of excitement. There's something to be done. And you stand up, you either put your clothes on or you've already got them on, you begin to prepare for a trek to the southern border of the continent, where all the vegetation is gone, and a large mountaintop with a big mansion, a big Gothic mansion on top. You did get a small vision of what it looked like. It wasn't very clear, but it was a big building, mostly black on the outside, kind of dilapidated with windows that are broken in. Looks like stained glass that is cracked and destroyed. The front door is kind of hanging off of one hinge. That was the image that you saw. And you're ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a description of where do you think you would wake up, to give your character a little bit of character, to give your character a little bit of like an idea of what everyone's character is like. So we're going to start this time reverse. So we're going to go Amity, Nina, and then kind of horseshoe up and around, ending on Maddie. Okay? So from here on, I'm going to try and refer to you as your character name. So just so you know, if I say your character name and you don't respond, I might I might like prompt you. I might be like, "Hey, Amity, that's you," and you be like, "Oh shit, okay." So it's okay if you're not used to it, and it's okay if you're not much of an actor here. You don't need to be an actor like I was. You don't need to like go into some crazy detail or anything. You can keep it as simple and or as detailed as you want. We're gonna start off here with Amity. Esme, as you wake up, looking around, it's quiet. Where do you think that you would wake up, and what do you think you were doing the night before?
I think I would wake up on a canopy of a marketplace, because I think Esme would probably be stealing the night before, because that's all that she's probably good at.
Okay.
So, probably wake up on a canopy of a marketplace, just surrounded by like fruits that she's stolen and like maybe some jewelry.
Perfect. So the canopy's kind of bowing downward with the weight of the fruits and things that you've stolen.
Right.
As you wake up and you kind of push a small clementine orange out of the way. It's kind of heavy, but it's okay. You kind of push it and it rolls down the canopy and rolls off and splats on the ground. Nobody's around. The market is completely empty. It's pretty early in the morning, like 4 or 5 in the morning or so. And the sun is just about to start rising, and you see people are just starting to show up to the market to start like setting up their booths and things. And
Yeah.
now would be a good time to go before the cops find you. You're not really too scared of it, but you never know. You know, somebody's gonna see you on that canopy. They might have something to say. So as you kind of
Exactly.
flutter up, you fly off in the direction of where you know the mansion to be. And that's all you got to do for an introduction here, everybody. So we're going to go down to Nina.
Okay.
Where do you imagine that you would wake up, and what were you doing the night before?
All right, so I imagine myself waking up in front of a fireplace. No fire, just charred wood. Probably the night before, I was probably running away from someone because, like Amity, I was probably stealing something. But I managed to escape, and I was having a night out in the middle of the woods with nothing else but just one small fireplace and probably some burnt rabbit or something that I killed in the middle of hunting
Hell yeah.
for food.
So as you kind of wake up in the, you said you're out in the middle of the woods, right? With like, just like a charred fire pit next to you, maybe some
Yeah.
charred rabbit on it as well, half eaten. As
Yeah.
you kind of roll over, the leaves around you crunch under you, and you kind of get up to your feet, and you see a squirrel that has kind of crawled down from a tree. It's like halfway down the tree. It's looking at you, and it looks scared. It's got like a scared look in its eye, and you're not sure why. And as it's looking at you, it notices that you're looking back at it, and it scurries up the tree and kind of into some leaves. And it's very eerie because normally there's quite a few animals out here. There's normally, people wandering the woods, or, you can hear noises of nature around you. And really there's not much. It seems like all the animals are hiding, which is pretty strange. But as you look around, looks like that was pretty much it. Nobody else that you were with last night or anyone else, any other creatures are around. Just the smell of that charcoal. And you gather your belongings and begin to crunch your way through the woods towards the southern border of the continent. It's a long trek, but you'll make it. All right. Next up, Juniper. That was Violet, by the way, everybody. That was Violet. And then Juniper, you're up.
So I was raised by wolves, so it was just another normal day for us. We ate, had our food together, and we were just going to sleep. We sleep in a cave in the forest, like very, very deep in the forest, so that way no one can find us or bother us. And that's it.
Okay,
But when I woke
perfect.
up, they were all gone, so I was worried because they're my
Yes.
family. So
Yes. As you wake up, actually, your family is gone. They're not around. You see that your family's quote unquote like belongings, like their wolf items that they keep with them, like they keep extra rations, they keep wood to create a fire, and like they're very intelligent wolves. And they use you a lot for help for those kinds of things as well, but they're pretty intelligent wolves. They keep a lot of things around for you. You notice that all those things are still there. Doesn't look like to be a sign of a struggle. as you walk out to the edge of the cave looking for them, you see your youngest brother, who is just a wolf cub, about 8 or 9 months old, and he is hiding behind a tree, kind of whimpering. Do you say anything to him?
Go up to him and ask him what's wrong.
You can get some basic communication with the wolves. It's not like you're never gonna get like a
Yeah,
full.
yeah. But like, when people talk to their dogs, they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, what's wrong?" Yeah, I go up and I like pat him on the head. I'm like, "Oh no, what's wrong?" and stuff like that, knowing I'm not gonna get an exact answer, but
Right. Let me check something real quick. Do you have Speak with Animals? I can't remember if we took that spell for you. So check on your character sheet. Where in the bottom right big box there should be spells. It says spells. The bottom right big box of your character sheet. So it goes action spells, equipment. You see it?
spells just says Matt. Or do you want me to go to spells? I have Speak with Animals. Yeah, I do.
Okay, so if you want, you can cast Speak with Animals, and that will allow you to actually have a conversation with your wolf friend. Like, they can speak back.
I'll use that then.
Okay, so as you cast Speak with Animals, you your vocal cords, actually, you kind of feel like a twinge in your vocal cords as they become more growly, like that. And you begin to kind of growl like a wolf, and you're able to actually speak the language of wolves. So you kind of whimper and growl to your brother, asking what was going on, and he says,
Sister, you were screaming and you were thrashing about, and there was this weird black shadow around you.
how do you respond?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happens. I was just sleeping. I have no clue.
I've never seen it before.
He seems scared, and he like nuzzles up to your knee a little bit and like rubs his nose on your knee.
Am I allowed to tell him about the dream at all or no?
You can, yeah.
Okay, well, I tell him that I think that I may have an important quest to take on, and I think that it'll do us a favor. So I say, don't worry about it. I'll handle this, and tell everyone that I'll be okay while I'm gone.
Okay, I'll tell them. Okay, bye, Juniper.
And he kind of like nuzzles you a little bit.
Bye.
All right. So you kind of pet him behind the ears, comfort him a bit. He seems a bit calmer now as he heads back into the cave and lays down next to the fresh meats and things. Just kind of nuzzles his head into the rocks, and you head off with your supplies towards the southern border. Shark, Liana. Is it Liana or Liana? Or is it neither?
I'm gonna be real. I don't know, but I'm gonna say Liana. Actually, Liana. I like that name better.
All right.
Liana. So, I wake up. I'm outside. I'm around a fire pit. I'm with my group. We're called the Golden Fangs. So the night before, we had literally like partied our asses off because we had just gotten done, doing this little like watching this rich dude's like fucking house or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so he pays us. We get our money. We leave because we don't care about him anymore. We got our money. So we get super blasted. I pass out by this tree. I have this weird dream. And then I wake up and literally, I don't know, it feels like everything's changed. Like I don't really care about like partying anymore. Like I don't even care about the other people in my guild anymore. Like I just want to know what the hell like literally just happened. So.
All right. So as you're kind of kicking you kick a beer bottle that kind of crashes into a wall, and you're walking around. You're kind of looking around. Nobody seems to be around. But as you're leaving, why is everyone meowing me in the chat?
Don't ask, Commander. Just don't ask.
Meow. All right. So, with that, I do want to play this out, Shark. So, as you're leaving, you see a familiar face show up behind you. This guy's name is Kethor, and Kethor is a large tiger leonin who doesn't wear any armor or any shirt or anything like that. He just wears like battle pants and usually just fist fights everybody. He kind of looks like a big bouncer almost. And you see him kind of come out of the building that you guys were next to, just kind of like an old building. And as he comes out of it, he says,
"Where are you going?"
Are you talking to me right
yeah.
now? Okay, I'm just letting you know. I didn't hear anything you said in the last 20 seconds because I was struggling hardcore. Literally right after I was done talking, everyone's mic just went out.
Okay.
And
Is it good now?
Yes, it's good.
Okay,
I'm so
perfect.
sorry.
All right, perfect. So no, you're good. So as you're leaving, a large leonin from your group, his name's Kethor, kind of walks out of a building and he sees you leaving and he says,
"Hey, where are you going?"
I don't really want to talk about it, man. Like, shit's crazy, and I really have some stuff that I need to figure out on my own.
Yeah, well, you freak me the fuck out.
Dude, like, literally not my problem, but like I said, I don't want to talk about this. I just really have to go.
he kind of like raises an eyebrow and he kind of hawks a loogie onto the ground and walks back into the building.
I take no offense. I understand.
He's a mercenary like you. All right. And you head off towards the mansion. Last but certainly not least, 7. Where do you think you'd wake up and what do you think you were doing the night before?
So I woke up just in this abandoned house somewhere in town that just no one goes to. I woke up no pants, not because I got laid, but because I shifted into and I shifted into this dragon thing, and my pants every time it happens burns off. They're just gone. Don't know why it happens, but gone. So I had no pants, and I was just completely wasted the night before, so I don't even remember what happened. But I woke up with jewelry all around me, so it was a good night.
All right. Do you pick up any of that jewelry? You want to keep any of that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you gather up some of that jewelry, you put it in I guess you don't have a pocket. I guess you just hold on to it. You probably have extra
No, I
pants
wear
somewhere.
it. I'll just wear it.
Yeah, you just put it on. Nice.
I got it. I'll just put it on, wear it.
All right, perfect. And we're gonna say that you keep some extra pants around, like always.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say you just kind of where do you think you'd keep those? Do you think you'd keep them like in a secret spot, or do you think you just always keep some on you in like a pack?
Listen, hear me out. I don't keep pants on me. All I did was grab the curtain beside me, tie it around
There
my
you
waist.
go.
I got a skirt now.
There you go. Improv. I like that.
Yeah.
So improvising clothing. Okay, cool. So you head on down towards the mansion as well. And that is our introductions for like what your characters are kind of like, where they're from, that kind of thing. And now we have you all arriving at the mansion. I'll describe your trek as you all get there. So the first to arrive is actually 7. 7, I'm going to describe to you what your walk up to the mansion is like. And for everybody, this is the same walk up that you all kind of get. You just come at different times because you're at different spots in the continent. You're kind of all spread out. So 7, you're the first one to arrive. You're the closest to the mansion. You've got to walk through a forest. And then once you leave the forest, it just kind of turns into a grassland. And then that grassland just turns into like cracked dirt. Like the grass just kind of like disappears into cracked dirt. And you see already in the distance at the very peak of a large mountain, you see a mansion that's kind of teetering out there off like an edge of the mountain. It's almost like the mansion was built specifically for that ledge. It's just kind of like way up there. And there is a walkway to get there. So as you approach the mountain, there is kind of a zigzagging walkway that takes you all the way up to the mansion. This walkway turns into these kind of marble stairs that continue up towards the mansion. They're very beaten and battered and cracked from weather and look like they haven't been taken much care of at all. Now, this mountain, interestingly enough, has, like I said, no vegetation on it whatsoever, but growing up through the cracks of the steps, you do see small pieces of vegetation. Just, it's an interesting note. Like, there's nothing green around you, except for growing up through these marble steps, through the cracks, you just see some small weeds and things growing, which does kind of interest you. And as you continue up the steps, you can already hear the creaking from the wind, because it is pretty windy up here at the top of the mountain. You can already hear the creaking of the mansion. Just that kind of noise. And as you're approaching, you can hear a voice coming from inside. This is unique to Seven. Seven, you're the only one who hears this particular voice because you're the first to arrive. You hear someone say, when do you think they're gonna get here? And you hear another voice say,
just be patient, just be patient. They'll be here.
And she says, oh,
I think I sense one coming now.
And as you're approaching Seven, those are the voices you hear. And before you even reach the door that's kind of hanging off of its hinge swings slowly open to reveal a very large creature. This creature is made of mismatched pieces of flesh that are sewn together. It looks like Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or the Frankenstein's monster, or that kind of vibe. It's mixed match pieces of flesh all sewn together. And he says, "Hey, Seven's here." And he kind of turns to look inside, and you see another creature, much shorter, kind of walk out from the shadows next to this large fleshy golem creature. And she is very hunched over, has a black hood up, this long crooked nose, a kind of cyan sea blue colored skin, and a big wart on the tip of her nose, eyebrows that are almost completely missing, just small little tufts of hair, and no eyelashes at all. Her eyes are wide open. One of them looks like it's about to fall out. It's kind of squinted. She's holding on to a cane, a wooden curled cane that comes up in the shape of a snake, and she's holding on to it, and she prods the flesh creature with it, and she says, "Why don't you go back inside?" And she kind of like pokes him, and he says, "Okay." And he thump, thump, thump. You can hear him thump all the way back inside. And she says, "I knew you'd be here first." And she says, "Come, come, come. We'll wait for the others. They'll all be here within the next couple days." And as you come in...
I don't walk in.
You don't?
Can I say
okay.
I don't walk in?
All right, perfect.
No, I'm like, who are you?
Okay. So she tilts her head. She says, And as she does, she kind of like pats her face with her hand, and as she does, her eyeball pops out. And she holds it up. And as she does,
back up.
She's kind of holding it up and holding it out towards you, and she says, "Don't you recognize my voice and my eye? I was the one who brought you here." And she kind of wipes off the eyeball, picks a hair off of it, and puts it back in her eye. And she says, "And you're 7, right?"
Listen, I know that, but how do you know who I am?
She gives kind of a devious smile as you see her teeth are almost completely missing. She's only got like 2 or 3 crooked yellow teeth that kind of stick out as she smiles. And she licks her lips. And as she does, she says, "How I know what I know is something you'll find out once you're all here. If you're more
comfortable staying outside in the cold and the wind, feel free. They'll all be here soon. The rest of your companions.
I have friends. I'm alone. But do you have whiskey?
She raises an eyebrow and she says,
I can probably procure some whiskey.
Then I'll come in.
She taps her staff on the ground and about faces to go inside. She holds the door open a little bit for you as you're approaching. It is, like I said, it's like hanging on that hinge. It's about to fall off. She says,
Gilmore, when are you going to fix this thing?
and he says, I'm on it for the guests. And he kind of comes over with this comically small hammer and screwdriver that are much smaller than he is, and he can like hold them in 2 fingers, and he takes the door and kind of puts it on its correct axis and takes the little screwdriver with his pointer finger and his thumb, and he screws in a screw, and as he does, he lets it go, waits for a second, and the door falls back down onto its corner. He goes, "Argh!" And he seems like he's frustrated, and she says,
Don't get frustrated, you'll get it.
and as you come in, the inside of this mansion is somewhat vast. It is 2 big rooms. So starting off, you have 2 big rooms, one to your left, one to your right. The one on the right looks like a large dining room with a red tablecloth and red velvet chairs. The entire floor beneath you is this kind of maroon-colored velvet carpet. And there is what looks like a... I'm sorry, that room's to your left. That's the dining room is to your left when you come in. And then to your right is a somewhat smaller looking like living area. It's got a couch and 2 chairs and a little table, and it's also covered in red velvet. The room you're standing in that's between these 2 rooms is circular in dimensions. It's like exactly circular. And for the most part, it seems fairly empty except for a large chandelier that's hanging above you. And this chandelier looks like it's made of glass and bone, both. You're not sure what kind of bone, but they are large bones for the most part. They seem very large, like larger than a person's. And as you walk in, kind of looking around, she says,
I'll go procure the whiskey.
and she steps back into a smaller hallway at the back of the room. Neither of these 2 big rooms that you see on your left and right, but this kind of smaller hallway in the back that seems to lead to a cooking area. And she heads down that hallway. I'm going to put the map up on the screen for you guys of the mansion. So let me throw that up. All right. So you will be able to see here the mansion on my stream. So it is the entrance is that circular room that's at the bottom of the screen. That's where you enter into the mansion itself. To the left is that big dining room with the big table and the chairs. To the right is that smaller living area. And then in the very back of that circular room that's at the bottom of the map, the very back of that room, there's like a hallway that leads into what looks like the kitchen and that kind of stuff. And so that's where she went into. And you're standing in that kind of main circular entrance room. Does everyone see that map?
Yep.
Okay. Anyone have
Yes.
questions on where you enter? Everyone catch that? It's at the very
Map's
bottom of
on
that
your
circular room.
stream, right?
Yeah, it's on my stream. Bottom left circular room. Only circular room on the whole thing.
Mine's a bit delayed. So give me a second.
No worries. The rest of you begin to arrive. We're gonna start with we're gonna go with thinking this would be Esme. Esme, you'd come up next. In your small fairy form, it's actually pretty easy for you to traverse the landscape to get to this position, and to fly up the mountain would be pretty easy for you. As you're flying up, you also get a good view of a smaller building that's off to the right of the mansion. And that smaller building you can see also on the map there. It is what looks like a broken down chapel with almost no roof on it either.
Okay.
So as you're flying up, you do see this kind of fleshy looking giant creature that is working on what looks like the front door. He's like sitting inside the mansion. He's very large. He takes up almost the whole doorway, and he's like, with one hand he's holding up the door, the other hand he's trying to like fix it or keep it from falling over, and he doesn't seem to notice you as you're flying up. And you can hear him kind of cursing to himself. Stupid door.
I feel like Esme, I want to do a little power move and help him
Okay.
pick it up. I don't think she's scared of much. I'm not scared of anything.
Okay, so Esme, as you fly up, he does notice you as soon as you put your hands on like the edge of the door to help push it into place. He does notice you, and he says, "Big insect," and he says, "Mom, scared," and he's like starting to like scoot back, and she says, What are you scared of? What are you scared of? And you can hear this voice coming from inside the mansion. You see a figure, the same figure I described before, this kind of crooked-nosed, blue-skinned woman with the bulgy eye comes out, and she looks over and sees you, and she says, Esme, you've made it. Well, I can see you are helping Gilgore. Gilgore, be nice. And Gilgore says, not insect, not bug? And she says, no, not bug, fairy. And he goes, fairy. And he scoots back over towards the door. He says, thank you, fairy.
I guess the goons have never seen a fairy before. It's a little rude.
So yeah, this guy Gilgore seems to have not seen a fairy before, but he continues his work on it. Go ahead and roll me. We're gonna do our first roll of the entire campaign here. So go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check. Sleight of hand check. So at the very bottom in the S's, click on that one.
Okay.
Our
Nice.
very first roll of the campaign is a natural 1. Whenever you guys see that red number on Roll20, that means that's the lowest number you could have possibly rolled. So,
Oh no!
with the natural 1 is the very first roll. Love it. So, as you're trying to like hold up the door, your wings just aren't quite able to like push it into place. You're just not in a good spot to like help keep it up. And Gilgore says, maybe I'll do it myself. Thank you, though, fairy. Esme.
That's the last time I'll ever do work around this place.
As you're trying to like push it, it's just like not budging at all, and he's like trying to also like help you like with your self-esteem, like he's letting the door kind of like he's kind of letting it go to see if you can like push it, and he's like, you're just like not getting it. He's just embarrassing you on accident, like he doesn't mean to, but it's just like a really tense situation, and that's when he's like, nah, never mind. He's gonna roll. I'm gonna have him roll and see if he can fix this door. Okay. So he rolls a 16, so he's able to finally screw the pieces into place and fix the door there. And 7, you see Esme arrive. She is very small, and we'll have you guys describe how your characters look to each other in just a moment. So I'm just going to do all the introductions of everybody as they arrive, and then we'll do the character introductions. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay. All right, so next up, Liana. Liana, as you are trekking up the side of the mountain, it's somewhat cold and annoying. There's a little bit of dribble coming out of your lion nose. You know, when a cat's nose gets kind of, wet from the cold, it's kind of like that. And especially your armor gets really cold in the cold environment. It freezes. Yeah, exactly. And as you're trekking up, you see the same site, the large mansion, the smaller building off to the right, that's this kind of dilapidated, broken down chapel. And as you're approaching, your armor is slightly clanking, and you see the door of the mansion open before you're even able to get to it. And this hooded, blue-skinned, witch-like features creature opens the door and says,
There she is. Come, come, come. It's cold, it's cold. It's going to snow soon.
and she's looking up at the sky, looking like it's gonna blizzard here pretty soon. What do you do, Liana?
I just like sniff around the air. Kind of smells a little nasty,
Yeah,
you know?
It's definitely
So
musty.
I don't know if I want to go in there, but I bare my fangs. I let her know, you know, what's up, what's going on, what I have going on and stuff. And I trust myself that I'll be able to handle it since like my like curiosity is so like, you know, curiosity killed the cat. So my curiosity is literally so intense that I'm like, fuck it. Like, I don't care if it smells. Like, I want to know what's going on. So I just walk in and say, hello, what's up? Like, I ask her, like, so who are you? How did you guide me here?
She smiles this kind of yellow-toothed smile, and she says,
All will be revealed in time. But Esme and Seven are already here. They're in the dining hall.
and she kind of leads you over to finding Amity's character and Maddie's character sitting at a large dining area table. Next up, Violet. Violet, as you're approaching the mansion, it is interesting being this high up. Your experience with this kind of weather is probably pretty slim. Being cold and kind of dreary and not too nice. It's just not usually probably your kind of weather. But as you're approaching, you're walking up to this mansion, and the ground is made of stone, like absolute pure stone. But you notice to your right, as you're walking up, there is a small little hatch in the stone that kind of creaks open as you're approaching, and you see these two little eyes. This is before you even get to the mansion. You're not even really that close. I mean, you're probably 120 feet out or so. You're still on the walkway, and this little hatch opens up, these eyes kind of peeking out, and you hear a voice say, "Who goes there?"
Oh shit. I'd be like, who's that?
No, it's none of your business who this is. Who are you?
No, who are you?
These eyes are kind of shining in the darkness, and the little hatch closes, and the eyes go away. It's just back to like flat stone, and then another hatch opens a few, like maybe 20 feet up, and you see those eyes kind of peering out at you from a separate hatch, and he says, "My name is Robert, and this is my home." And the hatch kind of closes again, and another one opens to your left, about 10 feet from you, and he says, "Now what are you doing here?"
Just passing through.
You see his eyes kind of light up, and he says, "You got any food?"
Maybe, but what do I get in return?
I can... He closes the hatch again, and then another one opens like right directly in front of you on the walkway. Just directly in front of you. And these eyes are looking up at you. And you hear the voice say, "I can procure you a key. A key to a special room."
And where is that special room? What does it have?
I can't give it all away.
I step on the fucking stone and squish his eyes.
Okay, as you step on the stone, he goes, "No, wait!" And you step on the stone, and Robert seems to have disappeared for the while. And you walk up to the door of the mansion, which creaks open before you enter, and a large fleshy figure says, Oh, you scared me. Mom! And she says, "It's just Violet. Let her in." You hear a voice from behind. And
How did he know my name?
you're asking that to the big flesh creature?
Yeah.
He says,
How do you know my name?
he says, "I don't know names. Mom knows."
Yeah. I didn't see anything. I just walked in.
He steps aside for you to walk in and then closes the door behind you. And as you're walking in, you hear the same voice from the kind of dining area. You hear that crotchety witch voice say, "I see you've met Robert. An annoying little creature."
Oh! So, is Robert okay?
Robert is a stupid, sentient rat that crawls around in the caverns beneath the mansion.
She explains. Yo, thank you for the 7 gifted subs. Skak loves Angelic. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, she describes that there is some kind of mouse creature underneath the caverns of the mansion that likes to crawl around and mess with people. So that is Robert. You met him. First person to have met him. All right.
Great.
Last but certainly not least, Juniper. This is probably not your kind of place. Cold, no nature, snowy, rainy. I would imagine probably not your type of place. Am I wrong? Let me know.
I'm miserable.
What'd you say?
I said I'm miserable right
You're
now.
miserable. Okay. So, as you're approaching, kind of walking up towards the mansion, the door does not open for you. This is not something that your character doesn't know about how it opened for everybody else, but as players, it's kind of interesting that the door doesn't open for her. Juniper, as you're approaching the door, you do hear a voice inside, but it sounds kind of muffled, just... Seems a little bit far
what?
off. Nobody seems to be approaching. What do you do?
I knock on the door as hard as I can, possibly.
All right. Bam, bam, bam. As you knock on the door, you hear... and you hear these footsteps. Thum, 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 thum. And the door opens slowly to reveal this fleshy golem-like creature. And as it opens, the creature says, "Oh, hello. Welcome. Is this the last one?" And the witch creature says,
Maybe. They may need help at some point, so we'll leave the door open for more, if need be. But yes, this is the last one for now.
And the Gilgore, the flesh creature, says, "Okay, come in, please." And he steps out of the way for you to walk in.
As I walk in, since I'm wearing like a freaking coat that covers my face and everything, as I walk in, I take that off and I look around curiously.
All right. As you're looking around, before the door is shut, you hear from outside, "Don't go in there! Don't go in there!" And as you're looking around and you look back, you see this little hatch opened up outside the mansion in the walkway. It's just this little stone that's raised up, and these 2 eyes are looking at you. And the flesh golem creature says, "Shut up, Robert." And you hear like a little snickering laughter coming from the little hatch as he goes, and the hatch closes. "Sorry about him."
It's all right. Robert doesn't seem to really, I guess, understand what's going on here.
He's annoying. As the flesh golem walks over to the dining area and holds the door open for you to enter the dining area. This is where we will describe how everyone's characters look to each other. So, this one I'm gonna let you guys think on it for just a second. So, like, recollect your thoughts as I pull up a thing. So just recollect your thoughts on it real quick on how your character would look, their clothing, all that good jazz.
Can I run to the restroom for like 5 seconds, please?
Yes. How about we just do that now? Let's do a restroom break. Anyone needs a restroom break, feel free, grab a drink, whatever you need, go for it. We'll let everyone, we'll say be back here in 4 or 5 minutes. We got about 25 minutes left, so we'll do about 20 minutes left, which will be just like you guys describing your characters, and then we'll end for the day, and we'll pick up next week.
Right.
That's the plan.
It's currently 6:30 a.m. here.
6:50 a.m.
6:30 a.m. Yes.
Oh my
I can't wait to get McDonald's after this.
Nice.
I've been treating myself for the past 3 days because I'm tired of saving money.
Nice.
You deserve it.
There you go.
As you should be.
Yeah, if you're
Have
watching.
you got that BTS meal yet?
No, because it's just chicken nuggets.
Listen,
I feel
I
like
ordered it on accident because that's my usual order.
The chicken nuggets?
Yeah, with the sweet and sour sauce and a Sprite, like that's just my natural order. And I was
Dude,
like,
they give
no,
two
I'm not
different
gonna-
sauces.
Well, they gave me like an extra sweet and sour, and I was like, oh my god, that's so nice. And they were like,
my
no, that's the BTS meal.
Oh, really?
Amity, you're an army.
Sweet and sour. Oh, yeah.
So
Oh,
I'll
I
let you, if you
missed
guys want to
stuff.
talk in the Discord, I'll let you guys talk for a second while I explain what's going on to everybody in the chat.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
Okay. So give me 1 second. I'm going to explain to some people because it is important because a lot of your audiences don't know what D&D is. So I'll explain what it is and all that real quick. Just give it a real elevator pitch. So D&D, this is Dungeons and Dragons, everybody. If you are new to the stream or never been in my channel before, this is what I do. This is Dungeons and Dragons, the tabletop role-playing game. So what that means is here in this particular game, we have Amity, Nina, Angelic, Shark, and Lil Chup or Maddie are all playing characters that they created, and they are role-playing as those characters, so they're pretending to be them. Holy shit, Jay, thank you for the raid. Yo, man, thank you for the raid, Jay. Yo, if you guys do not know Jay Muse, please go check out Jay Muse. Jay Muse is Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, to help you understand if you don't know who that is. If you've never heard of Jay and Silent Bob, it's an old kind of movie series from back when I was a kid. And Jay is doing Twitch streaming now. He runs all kinds of games like Fortnite and all kinds of other cool games. And him and I will be playing D&D here pretty soon. So pretty awesome, dude. Please go check out Jay. Thank you so much for the raid, man. Thank you. Welcome everyone from Jay's community. This is Dungeons & Dragons. You just came in the perfect time. I was explaining what D&D is to everyone who's new because this is episode 0, the first episode. So, hi everybody. Thanks again for sharing your community with me, Jay. Let me explain what's going on. So this is Elegant Evil. It is villain-centric campaign. So all of the players here are the bad guys of the story. They're actually trying to like defeat the good guys of the story. So it's kind of a flip-flop. They can't hear you guys right now. Do you want me to turn it on? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. So D&D, it is a role-playing game, which means you step into the shoes of your character. You actually are your character. So you actually like become whoever you made as a character. It's actually pretty interesting and it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like Skyrim, but you get to play your character and like voice them and act them out and all that good shit. It's actually really cool. For those of you that are new, maybe from Jay's community or from any of the streamers on here community, we're gonna play every week at 4 o'clock Central Time, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. And what we do is I narrate the story as the dungeon master. So I narrate the story and like tell you, like I describe situations. I describe how NPCs look. I describe how environments look. I voice act all of the characters that aren't the main cast here. And the main cast here plays their characters and interacts with my world. So, for example, I might describe to them a market scene where they're all out in a big shopping market. And then they get to decide what to do in that market. Maybe one of them wants to kill a shopkeeper. They can do that. Maybe one of them wants to pickpocket somebody and steal something from them. They can do that. It's almost limitless on the amount of things you can do with D&D. It's a lot of fun. So if you've never played before, feel free to stick around. We're finishing up here. They're going to describe how their characters look. So this is episode 0. Their characters are meeting. They're getting the quest hook, all that kind of stuff. All right. All right, we're good. You guys good? Ready? All right, perfect. So let me turn your desktop audio back on. Bada bing, bada boom. Tests for it real quick. You guys test for me?
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Hi.
perfect. Thank you. All right. So we're going to describe how your characters look and all that good jazz. And I have 2 more NPCs to describe to you as well that hang around in the mansion that you can meet and talk to and get to know. So let's start with you guys. Starting off, we're going to go with Esme. Since you're pretty, I think you're pretty set in how your character looks, and it's a really cool description. So I'm going to pull down the mansion, and you guys can see on the slideshow here that's going across the screen, their character, like, images will be put up. Amity's is the only one that is custom made. The rest of these are placeholder images. Copyrighted placeholder images. So just so you guys know, they are not official for these characters. They're just like what we used for inspiration. So if you are a fan artist or somebody who just likes to chill and make pieces for streamers or anything like that, I mean, it would be awesome to have some custom art made for this slideshow. Feel free to tweet it at me, and I'll put it up on the slideshow to make it like the official art, because, you know, it would be cool to have official art. But if you see a little fairy pop up here that's holding a key, that's Esme. And that is custom art made officially for the way that her character wants to look. So go ahead and describe that, Esme.
Okay. I am a tiny little fairy. I think we said 3 inches
3 inches,
tall. 3 inches tall. I'm a moth fairy, so I'm kind of bland, I guess you could say. I have gray hair, white skin, black little beady eyes, black antennas. I have a lot of fur on me like moths do. So I basically just look like a tiny little moth, probably from far away. I have brown leather, a corset. Yeah, so that's pretty much me.
Perfect. Thank you. Next up, Violet. How would you describe how your character looks? If you guys are looking on the stream, right there is Violet. It was just on the screen just a second ago.
Temporary.
Yeah, temporary.
I couldn't find a picture with like medium length hair. That's how I describe mine. For like outfit wise, I was thinking I have 2 separate outfits that I can change into. Okay, so the first one is the one that I posted a picture. It's like very armor leather-y, but I can like immediately strip that off. So controversial. I can strip that off into like something like dreamy and like probably to persuade people. So it's like a that's how I think of mine. Yeah,
absolutely.
So
and
like
your character's race is interesting. You are Kalashtar, which is a Dungeons and Dragons race that is made of dreams. They are they're called dream people because they are made from the union of a person and a spirit, or they are literally like dreamt up manifestations, like almost imaginary friends come to life type beat. So how did you imagine your character was made again?
my character was made by this rich family who thought that they would want like a perfect daughter, but instead they got me. So in return, they turned me into like a servant in the house, which honestly pissed me off because I hate rich people in the story. So in return, I rebelled against them, and I am now forever in hiding because they are trying to hunt me down.
Good shit. All right, so literally dreamt up by a family wanting a daughter, and they didn't quite get what they wanted, and instead of looking inward at themselves, they outwardly punished the thing that they created, and that's fucked up. So she's pissed off. All right, thank you, Nina. Next up, Juniper.
So I'm pretty frail and I'm shy as well. So my eyes are really like bright red, but my hair is really long and white and wavy. And I wear this like coat thing over my clothes all the time. That's like kind of, I don't know if you know, like those things that tie here and they're just long. They don't have any sleeve holes. They're kind of just like a hood. Yeah, I wear that over my head all the time since
like
I'm
like
so shy and everything. Yeah, like a cloak. And under the cloak, it's kind of just like a, I don't really know. I just wear a dress that I made from the like nature I surrounded myself with.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Shark.
Hello. So my character is a 6 foot tall. No, sorry, 6'5" tall, 6'5" tall lion lady with like cool armor. Like in the photo that was on there, that one or whatever one, like when it's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
I have a golden fang on one of my like teeth, so it's a little bit longer than the other one, and it's a bit more prominent. Like it shows. Also, I talk in a British accent now, so suddenly we're gonna just add that in there. But yeah, so I'm a fighter. Not too smart, not too, I don't know, but I'm a tank, and if you need me, I can fight for you, and if you got gold, I can fight for you.
Nice. All right, and next up, we have Maddie's character. Sorry, you're a Leonin, right, Shark? So
yes,
Leonin is like a kind of a, I would say, more muscular version of a Tabaxi or a Khajiit, if you guys are Skyrim fans. It's kind of like a more muscular version of that. So to help you imagine it. And then last but certainly not least, Maddie, go ahead and describe your character, 7.
Oh yeah, so I'm like a shift or whatever, and I have white hair because I got dragon features. Okay, so I got white hair and green eyes, but when I'm in my dragon shifted form, they're like yellow and kind of look like cat eyes, I look mainly human, except for my legs still have scales all over them because I am a dragon. And if I shift, then I get way more dragon features. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm tall.
All right. And how do you imagine your clothing to look?
Oh, well, it's always getting burned off just because I'm literally, for some reason, I keep losing my pants every time I turn into a dragon. So my clothes are just made out of whatever I can find. Right now it's a curtain.
Right, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't get a chance to hear from Liana. How does your like clothing look?
So it's just basically like kind of like simple like armor, and then pretty much just all armor going down, and then like kind of like shoulder pad area and like chest area is like really like prominent with like the fang sigil on it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got pretty cool like where my feet are, since they're cat feet, they're like out in the open more, so it gives me quick access if I gotta like kick a bitch or something and claw them,
For
yeah, I'm just normal lion, got cool amber eyes, and yeah, just normal armor, gray silver armor.
Perfect. Thank you very much. All right,
I keep
everybody.
fucking the accent up.
No. Seriously, if you guys want to try an accent, you can try it literally like 2 episodes from now, or like you can do it whenever you want. Your character's like accent and stuff like that can be totally changing, and if we're good friends and good actors together, then we don't mention that kind of thing. We don't mention like, oh, your accent's fucked up, like you suck, like
your
let's not do
accent's
that.
slipping.
Yeah, that shit's really annoying, so don't do that. We can joke about it, but like if you're the one joking about it, like if you're joking about yourself, but try not to point it out if somebody's trying something new. Let people try to. I don't think that's gonna be a problem with this cast at all. So, but anyway, yeah, go ahead and try whatever you want. And the last 2 things I'll describe are the 2 NPCs that I'll say 2 NPCs, but you'll see why. I'll describe those 2 to you and what they do in the mansion. I'll describe a little bit more of the mansion to you, And then the last thing we'll do is just like the final quest hook to kind of cliffhang us to episode 1 for next week. So, here we go. Throughout the mansion, I'll describe that first. Throughout the mansion, I'll pull up the mansion image again for you. Let me, bada bing, bada boom. All right. So the mansion itself is fairly large, and it's in a box shape with an open middle. The middle is called a courtyard in the middle there. And that courtyard is completely barren. It looks like there used to be a big tree that was growing there, but it's been since cut down, and it's like rotting and gross. But around the mansion itself, the main rooms to keep in mind are the ones that are red carpeted. Okay, red carpeted rooms, just so you know, on the map there, are the ones that are like the key rooms, like the ones that you'll spend most of your time with, other than your sleeping quarters. Your sleeping quarters are the pink chambered room it's like the biggest pink chambered room to the bottom right of the mansion. It's kind of, I would say, yeah, rectangular in shape, and you can see it has 5 beds in it. So that is like the sleeping chamber. But you'll notice as the witch creature, who I'll give you a name for in just a minute here, but she leads you to that bedroom, and she says, "You do not all have to sleep here. You can sleep on the couch, or you can make your own room from one of the many vacant rooms on the 2nd floor, if you'd wish. Any of that is fair game, but if you'd like to all bunk together, you may in this room here." And she points out that room to you. So, the red carpeted rooms. First main one is like the bottom right kind of rectangular room. It looks like it has a bed in it, if you can see on my screen, and that is the witch's room. So that's where she sleeps and does a lot of her like potions and that kind of thing. She shows you inside. She's not keeping it a secret from you. She opens the door and shows it to you. It's covered in these tapestries along the walls. There's candles lit everywhere. It's very ventilated from a big window on the back wall, and it smells like a lot like incense, and these faint stench of death in the room as well. And she definitely creeps you out. The room itself is stuffy and hot, and not a place that you'd want to hang out for too long. It just feels gross. It sticks to you almost. So that's that kind of bottom right rectangular room. Immediately to its left is that family room that I described to you. It's got a couch and a couple chairs, a fireplace, and a table. And so you guys can sit and hang out and talk in there. You'll also notice on the table in there is what looks like a blank piece of parchment for you to draw out maps or talk about plans or anything like that. You can like draw things on there. The middle circular room is the entrance. Like I said, almost completely empty except for the big chandelier at the very top it's made of bone and glass. Far left, the biggest room, second biggest room of the mansion is the dining room. Also has a large fireplace, big, huge table that's got many chairs that can sit around it. Big, huge, beautiful wooden table. And the chairs are lined with this kind of beautiful red velvet. And this room actually smells the best out of most rooms. It has almost like a perfume scented smell, and it distracts from that death smell that comes in the entrance, that smell of like flesh and grossness. And you get that flesh smell is coming off of Gilgore, the big flesh guy, like the guy that's made of skin and all that kind of stuff. It's mostly coming from him. He does not smell too great. And then the last room that I'll describe to you here is the big back room, and that is the library. That is where all of the books of different religions, different places in the world, different animals, creatures, medicines, all kinds of stuff. She's got kind of a book for everything. And you'll notice that this room is packed wall to wall. You can almost see no wall itself. It's wall to wall with books is what I mean. And they're scattered across the floor on top of tables. And there's a big locked treasure chest in this room that's at the very back of it. A big locked wooden treasure chest that a few of you looking at it go, "Oh, that looks like something I kind of want to lockpick." I'm sure some of you guys. It's got a big golden padlock on it that's just ripe for some picking. So that's the main rooms for you. Now you'll notice the top right of the mansion, that's kind of like an L-shaped of pink rooms. Those are just different storage rooms, and Gilgore's room is over there, and the two other NPCs I'm going to describe to you, their rooms are over there as well. So, any questions on like the main mansion itself? The second floor is just guest bedrooms. There's nothing special on the second floor, but it is 2 floors. 2-floor building. Any particular questions that jump out at you? Okay.
Nope.
All right. I will put this in the Discord as well. So I'll put this map in the Discord right now for you. And we're going to throw that right in the Elegant Evil chat here. All right. So you'll see in the Discord we're talking in right now, there's a text channel above that says Elegant Evil. You can click in there and you'll see the map. All right. I'm going to put the map away and describe to you the last little bit of things. So, you've met Gilgore. Gilgore is about 9 feet tall. He looks like he weighs somewhere between 500 and 600 pounds. He thumps and thuds when he walks. He's not very coordinated. He's sewn together somewhat haphazardly, but sturdily. He's not falling apart. It's just kind of haphazard, and it doesn't look very pretty at all. He, seems to have basic communication skills and seems like a very simple fellow, but naive, kind of childlike, wanting to help you in ways that you may need. So if you need Gilgore's help, he seems like a pretty nice person in relative terms to talk to. He seems like someone who would be willing to help you with certain tasks. Next up, the witch. She is not actually a witch. She's what's called a hag. And a hag is a creature that shares a lot of features with you, Esme. You both come from Fey ancestry, which is like magical kind of nature ancestry. And her name is Lika. 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 And she, as you've noticed, is very secretive about a lot of things. She doesn't really talk in specifics. She's kind of vague about a lot of the things that she says. And now that you're all here, she seems extremely excited to get started, like with what the plan is and to kind of tell you about it. Without describing too much more about her, you know what she looks like. She's got blue skin, big long wart nose. I'll tell you about her hair because she puts her hood down when she's inside. Her hair is this kind of stringy black hair that comes over and sticks to her face in different spots. It's very oily and gross. And she actually shows you an ability of hers, which is, if we have guests, I have ways of making sure that they don't see what we're doing in here. And she snaps her fingers, and as she does, she turns into a beautiful elven woman who is stunning to look at. Her eyes are a gorgeous amber color. Her pointed ears are riddled with jewelry. She has these bangles that kind of jangle on her wrist, and she wears a beautiful white dress that flows on the red carpet and looks really beautiful against it. And her voice changed from this kind of scraggly voice to a much kinder, simpler sounding voice like this when she talks to you. So she has her ability to kind of disguise herself. And when she does that, she also snaps her fingers, and Gilgore turns into a statue, a large, hulking statue of a muscular man. He, as you approach him and like touch him, he is literally a statue, like he's made of stone when she does that. So he turns into basically this like muscular kind of Hercules looking guy that's like putting on a pose and is a stone statue. And it seems like he really is that when you approach him and like tap on him. He's really been turned to stone, and then when she snaps her finger, he turns back into fleshy Gilgore. Okay, so those are those descriptions. The last couple people. So Robert, you get a good look at Robert finally. He crawls out of one of the vents in the kitchen as you guys are chilling in the kitchen at one point. He is a very small humanoid. So he looks like he's walking on two legs, basically, is what I'm trying to say. He looks kind of like a werewolf if a werewolf was a rat. And he is about 3 inches taller than Esme. So he's about 6 inches tall or so. And furry with this kind of brown, gross, matted fur. And he looks like I said, he looks like a werewolf, but if a werewolf had a rat's head. And he doesn't wear any clothes. He's totally naked. But he comes out of the vent, and as he sees you, he goes, "Oh, there you all are. Excuse me just a moment." And he slides down one of the shelves in the kitchen, picks up what looks like a box of breadcrumbs, and drags it into the wall where he came from. He seems very to himself, kind of keeps to himself. But you also have an idea, and this is me telling you as your DM, since you're all pretty new to the game. What do you think someone in the walls would have as an advantage? Like, what's an advantage of living in the walls? Like, what do you guys think?
You hear everything.
They hear everything, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So he would be
He
maybe
can be
someone that would be
everywhere
good to be
quickly.
friends with. Next up, the last two people you haven't met yet. So the first, as you go into the library, sitting at one of the desks is a skeleton. No clothes, no any armor, nothing like that. Just an animated skeleton that's flipping through some books. And as you come in, he turns his face towards you. His bones kind of clack, clack. Yeah, clack. And as he turns, he's wearing a monocle in one eye, but he has no eyeball. It's just like a monocle. It's kind of like dangling down. And he says, welcome. Hey, everybody. Hello. He kind of stands up, and his bones again kind of jangle and jingle. And he walks over to you all. Bleach white bone, completely just regular skeleton. There's nothing super special about him. He looks like a male human skeleton. And as he approaches, he says, "Oh, hello, I am Jasper." And he kind of like puts his hand out for a handshake from each of you. Does anybody shake his hand?
I give him a firm handshake.
Okay,
Ham
handshake.
shake?
As you do that, his arm
Ham.
comes off. His arm comes off, and you're holding onto his arm, and he goes, "Oh!" And he grabs the arm and sticks it back into place. Sorry about that.
Yikes.
He looks at you all. What? Why the long faces?
I don't think I've ever seen that. Yeah, what was that about?
What do you mean? I'm a skeleton. What did you expect?
Yeah, don't do that again, please.
Don't do what? This? And he pulls off his arm and starts waving at you with it.
Oh god.
Yeah, no,
I have
man.
What?
Can I have it?
My arm?
Yes.
I need that.
Do you?
You can borrow it.
Sure.
He hands you the arm.
Hands you
And
the
then I
hand.
start playing around with it, like messing with like Liana and stuff.
As you're like swinging
Really
it
doing the whole
around,
thing, yeah.
he starts making like karate chop noises. He starts going hoo, ha, hoo, as you're like swinging his arm for him, and he goes, "We're quite the team, aren't we? What's your name?"
Oh, Violet. What's yours?
He says, "My name's Jasper. Pleasure to meet you." And the hand that you're holding like goes out into like a handshake, like you know, what's it called? Pose. Yeah, his hand.
Yeah,
goes into-
I'll do this. Yeah.
he nods his head, and so that's Jasper. And then anyone have anything else they want to do with Jasper, or ask Jasper, or talk to Jasper before I go to the last person to describe? Okay, so the last person that you meet is in the kitchen, and they are what looks like two people, actually. As you walk in, this kind of trench coat looking figure, they're just wearing like a large trench coat, turns around, kind of a bulbous, gross looking green head with pointy ears and sharp teeth. Some of you recognize this as a goblin. The goblin is looking at you, and you heard the trench coat like kind of flap like that, like that flapping noise when you're like a flag in the wind, kind of, as you came in the room. And as this creature turns around and looks at you, it goes, "Oh shit! It's just the guests." And they open up the trench coat, and there's a second goblin that he's standing on the shoulders of, and that one goes, "I guess we don't have to hide at all. I was getting excited for a second." And the other one's like, "Yeah, me too. And they kind of hop off each other's shoulders and put the trench coat on drape it over a chair. And as they approach, they're twins. You notice that they're identical twins, identical goblin twins. And one of them is, the only difference that you can find between the two of them is one of them is missing his left ear. It's completely missing. Not sure what happened to it. You can always ask at some point. We can do that next week, or whatever, if you're interested in knowing. But they both aren't very hospitable towards you. One of them's just like, "What do you want? You hungry? You need some food, or what do you need, huh?" And the other one says, "Yeah, I've been looking for the whiskey." Lick, there's no whiskey here, right? And the other one goes, "Well, I don't know about that." And he kind of like nudges the brother goblin. They're kind of like pushing each other now, and then they start like, you don't push me, you don't push me," and they start like pushing each other and like rolling around on the ground and knocking some pans and pots over. And the witch creature says, "Sorry for lying to you, but you're in here now."
Can leave.
If you wish, sure.
Do you have any sort of alcohol?
She says, "There's a town nearby we can get alcohol from for you. We just don't keep it on hand. Is that okay?"
I'm starving.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you two fix us up some food then. And the goblins kind of stop rolling around on the ground and go, "Okay, fine." And the other one says, "Yeah, we can do that. Okay, yes." And they begin to like put together some makeshift food for you. And the hag, she nods to you all and she says, "That's the whole family. You've met them all. These creatures will be, I'm sure, invaluable to you as they have been to me. Any questions?"
So you said we're going to a town? What's that all about?
Yes. Well, before I let you all run off and, explore the surrounding area and all that, let's go to the chapel, shall we? I have the information you seek. Why you're here.
Do you want me to burn?
She raises an eyebrow. What do you mean? I know what you mean.
I don't want to talk about it.
She says,
"I'm sure you won't burn. If I don't burn in a chapel, you sure won't."
Understandable. Let's go.
Okay, well, let us go.
and she walks you guys to the chapel. Again, it's very broken down, stained glass that's shattered inward for the most part, but there is one large stained glass window that's still intact, and you can see on that stained glass window there's a portrait of what looks like just a large candle kind of burning as the main piece of the stained glass. And on either side of it are pictures of people like holding their necks. They look like they're like dying of poison or something. And above that there looks like some hands with like puppet strings on them. It's a very kind of creepy looking image. And as she opens the doors to the chapel, they are double doors, big wooden double doors. And again, the roof is almost completely gone. So there's no real cover here from the elements. It's pretty cold. The snow has kind of gotten in this area quite a bit. But what's interesting to you is as you come in, she snaps her fingers and all of the candles across the room and on the pulpit, which is where like the preacher would stand, all those candles light up with no need for any flame. And she says, I have a proposition for you. And she walks you guys to the pulpit where there's a large book sitting on the pulpit. It's a huge tome. It looks like it's probably well over 1,000 pages and leather bound with these beautiful golden edges to it. And as she turns it towards you with the like little stand that it's on, she turns it towards you and then points it downwards so you can all see it. She's the only one in the pulpit right now. She points it down at you and she says, this is known as the Book of the Damned. Now, don't be scared. I may have not given you all the information as soon as I contacted you, but it seems your curiosity led you here anyway. So, I would like to ask you for a favor, and in return, you will be granted your wildest, most epic dreams. She points to a page in the book, and as she does, you all recognize a word. It stands out in a book full of infernal language. Anyone that can read Infernal can read this whole page, by the way. So bottom left of your character sheet, you'll see your languages. If you read Infernal, then you can read that.
Infernal.
Let's go. Me too.
But she points to a word that stands out in a sea of Infernal, and it says mother. And she says, long ago, at the beginning of time, there was a ruler. She was beautiful and powerful, known only as the mother of all. She is what many believe created this world and all the people you know, the people that you've met, that you've loved and hated. Me, you. They say that she created everything from the blood of her own bosom. She is larger than life. She is incomprehensible to most. But only those who seek divine or infernal power can understand her. And she speaks through me. And since you answered the call, you understood. Oh yes, you understood. I've reached out to hundreds and hundreds of people. And only you showed up. I can always tell when they can understand. You remember when my visage came to you, the large eyeball. She pops her eyeball out of her head. She says, when you were dreaming. I do that to many people. And you're the firsts that have answered that call. Now, before I go onward, we're almost done with the session for today. I know we're a little bit over. We're almost done. So, everyone roll me an insight check, please. Insight check. It's in the middle of your character sheet, the big long box. In the middle, eyes. It's in the eyes. Insight check. Wow. You all did pretty good. We got a 19 from Esme, a 13 from Violet, a 13 from Juniper, 10 from Liana, and then a 16 from 7. Okay. So, everyone but Liana, unfortunately, sorry, Liana. Everybody but Liana, you recognize that she seems to be telling the truth. With your insight checks, you're able to kind of tell when somebody's lying. And this creature honestly believes that they are what they say they are, like a vessel to be spoken through by this creature called Mother. And it seems like they're being honest when they say that they've tried to contact many people, and you're the first ones to have seemed to have been able to even understand what she was calling them to do. So, Liana, you are just a bit off-put by her, and you're not sure whether to believe her or not. It's hard for you to tell if she's lying or not. The rest of you, though, able to tell that at least she believes that. She's not lying to you. It's like the difference, between somebody lying to you and somebody just being wrong. Like, you're not sure, but you believe that she knows, like, that this is the truth. You believe that she thinks this about herself. You just haven't seen any real proof of it yet. So you're not sure whether she is crazy or not, but you know that for sure she's telling the truth, and that you're the first ones to have been able to understand her, which is pretty interesting. And as she continues onward, she looks across your faces for any signs of confusion or worry. She's looking for if anyone's like, I kind of want to back out. She's kind of looking for that. Like, she's looking to see if anyone's like not feeling it right now. You know what I mean? She's looking to see if anyone's wanting to leave or like backing away from her. How are your reactions so far in this? Do you think your character would react to like somebody telling you that they are like the vessel of what you can procure as like a god?
I'm a little worried about how this god is going to grant all of our dreams.
Mm-hmm. Do you say that out
How does
loud,
this god
or
have
do
that
you?
Yeah, I think I would ask, how is this? How are you gonna grant our wildest dreams living in this decrepit castle?
She smiles, and she says,
Now that is a good question.
She rubs her hands together, and she says,
Mother reached out to me and asked for my help. And in return, she said she would grant me one of my wishes. I had always wished for a son. And I had never been able to bear. But Gilgore showed up on my doorstep moments after I made my wish. I don't ask questions. I don't know where he came from. But from the moment I met him, he called me mother. Now, what explanation is there for that?
He needed a mom, and you look like a mom.
Maybe he's just into that, bro.
Yeah.
I can tell you that the powers I have are real. And Gilgore is real.
What
Mother
can you do with the power?
is real.
What can you do with your powers?
What can you demonstrate for us?
she raises an eyebrow. It's kind of tuft of hair on her above her eye that you would call an eyebrow. She raises it up. She says, She pops her eyeball out of her eye. And as she does,
Girl.
do you guys back up or anything? Are you guys just chilling?
Yeah, like I said, you gotta stop doing that. At least give me a warning beforehand or something, because that is really disgusting. And come on, man, like, for real.
Yeah, it's like a straight up like, I can't do the pop noise because it doesn't come through the mic, but yeah, it's like a popping noise, like, and comes out, and she's like, sorry, I guess. Watch this. And as she throws her eyeball up in the air, it stalls in the middle of the air. It doesn't come back down like you would think it would. It just stalls there. It begins kind of spinning in a circle. And as it does, you see these images start to appear all around it. These little illusions. These, like I said, images, moving images of people, places, and things. And you hear her say,
these are... Look closely. Look very closely.
And as you're looking, you recognize people that you know. People from the guild, Liana. Your wolf parents chilling in the cave, Juniper. They are encircling the eye. And she says,
I did not know who you were. Someone asked me earlier, I don't remember who it was. I think all of you actually asked me how I knew. I didn't. But she did.
Who's she?
Mother. And she's
How do you
calling you.
know these things?
I told you, she created all. But she's trapped. And we must set her free. And you will become gods yourselves. I
I
promise you
like
that.
the sound of that.
Listen, I don't know about you guys, but I'm all in.
Yeah, I'm all in too. I like
Fair
that.
enough. No more questions. Got it.
All I heard was
I have
God.
nothing else
That
to
was
do,
it.
man. I have nothing else to do. Might as well join in. Yeah.
On whiskey, but I'll join.
she laughs, and as she puts her hand out, the eyeball falls into her hand, and she pops it back into her eye. And she says,
Well, then you must take an oath with me. I haven't taken it yet either. But together, we'll take it. It's a
What are the
pact.
repercussions?
It's a good question.
she smiles as she thumbs through another page of the big tome. And she looks through the page, and she says,
It is not a life-binding contract. It's not a contract at all. That's a tit-for-tat. A simple exchange. If you are able to procure a list of items for me to perform this ritual, then we can summon Mother. And this pact that we're about to make is her promise to us that she will reward us with godliness, riches beyond our wildest dreams.
How do I know
Power.
you're not just like using us to go run and get those errands?
she looks at you very sternly, and she says,
I am using you.
I mean, I don't mind being used as long as we get this godliness and these riches. I think I can steal a few items.
Listen, it's not like I care anything that she's locked up, and I'm still gonna do it because, you know, godlike powers, whatever. Why is she locked up?
she furrows her eyebrows a bit, and then closes her eyes and shakes her head. She says,
A sad story. One that we don't have time for right now.
this is your DM telling you.
Kind of sus.
This is just
Whatever, I'm
Commander
in.
saying. You'll get the
Whatever,
story.
man.
I'll give you the story. No problem. We'll do it next time.
How long is the list though? Because I ain't got all day.
It's 4 items. Give or take 1.
Sounds simple. 4?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can do that.
Really
All
good
right,
item.
I'm in.
So, as she puts her hand out, she takes her staff. That's that wooden staff with the snake head. And she places that open hand on the head of the snake and pulls. And as she does, a small dagger appears. She pulls it out of the wooden holster, basically. And she takes this snake-hilted dagger and she cuts a line into her palm. Shallow, just enough to bleed a bit. And she puts her hand out first. And as she does, you see this kind of black smoke coming out of her wound. And she says, as she closes her eyes, she says,
Mother is with us.
and you hear her voice is like echoing throughout the chamber. And she says,
Place your hands here.
Right?
I'll put my hand there.
okay. So you all place your hands on top of her. She doesn't ask you to cut your hand or anything. But as you place your hands on top of her hand, that black smoke that's kind of emanating out from her wound begins to wrap around your hands, and then it clamps down and forms into a solid, like, spider-like web around your hands. And you all feel a slight tinge of pain, a slight, like, tss, and the tops of all of your hands are somewhat singed with what looks like spiderweb marks on them. And she says,
Not permanent. Just until it's complete.
and then she says,
Mother calls.
and as she says that, the webs are released from your hands are released, no longer bound to each other by them, but you do feel this kind of singe on the top of your hands. You see that kind of spiderweb looking hash marks on the tops of your hands, and then they fade away. They just fade into nothingness, back to your normal skin. And she looks at you all, and she says,
Now, for the list.
and that is where the intro trailer that we made comes in. So I'm going to play that for the audience, and that's going to be the end of our session for the day. So I'm going to play the trailer for everybody real quick. And that is episode 0, the hook, everyone meeting each other, and then episode 1 is next week where they go on the quest. Here it is, everybody.
Listen close as Mother calls you by name, to gather these trinkets and call forth the flame. A silver chalice from the catacombs in the east, the holy book of the gods, guarded by priests. A golden dagger from the temple in the west, and a suit of shining armor, holy and blessed. With these 4 artifacts we'll perform the rite, and bring Mother home for the eternal night. From power to wealth to revenge on high, whatever it is you desire, Mother will bring nigh. And soon you'll be treated like queens of regal. But first you must commit acts of elegant evil. So as you stand and take your oath in these walls, remember to listen close for her, because Mother calls.
All right, so we are back, and that is Elegant Evil episode 0. Hope everyone in the chat had fun. Thanks for being here. Chris, thank you for the raid. I'm sorry we're ending like right when you're raiding, but we'll bring your community with us, okay? Thank you, Chris, for being here. Thanks for being a part of it. Yeah, I know. The VOD will be up. I'll upload it to YouTube. It's also not locked behind any walls or anything, so if you want to watch it, it's on Twitch as well. You can just watch the VOD there. I hope you all had fun, and if you want to catch up with it, make sure you subscribe on YouTube and all that good jazz. But other than that, let's do outros real quick and have everyone say goodbye. And then, ladies, if I can keep you guys here in the call just for 2 minutes after I turn off the stream so we can talk about anything that you guys have for comments, questions, concerns before I let you guys go for the day. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So, starting off, we'll start with Maddie. Outro, what you're doing, plans, anything.
Little Chapin, I'm gonna sleep after this.
Sounds good. Thank you. Shark. Muted.
You're muted.
Ah, my bad. I'm
There you
still
go.
getting used to the
No,
push
you're
to
good.
talk. But peace out. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna go grocery shopping and paint that skateboard behind me. So
Nice.
Hi.
maybe put something on there.
Sounds awesome. Angelic.
Yeah, I'll probably play games and then I'll go live later. That's about it.
Okay, sounds good. Are you planning on going live like right after I end, or are you gonna be a little bit?
No, I go live usually like in 3 hours or something.
Sounds good. Nina.
You can find me at Ninskabins everywhere, especially Instagram. I want 10K followers. I want that swipe up feature. And I'm probably gonna get McDonald's after this.
Hell yeah.
Yo,
That
me
sounds
too,
awesome.
actually.
Let's fucking go.
Nice.
But yeah.
Thank you very much for being here. And then Amity.
Amity Avon on all platforms. I have a karaoke stream tonight, but it's not until later, so I'm excited.
Okay, karaoke stream. That sounds awesome.